What is going on, everyone? TJ here with Daily Grind Fantasy Sports, and in this video we're going to be building out a 5-leg uninsured slip over on Underdog Fantasy using the correlation tool here at DGF. My first overall play from that slip is going to be Patrick Mahomes under 0.5 interceptions. We're going to go through, break down everything for you guys, build out the rest of this slip right now. Before jumping in, guys, if this is your first time stumbling upon the channel, welcome. You can go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Also, if you haven't yet, please go ahead and hit that like button. Really helps out the channel. And then go ahead and turn on that notification bell, so whenever we do go live or post content, you get notified first. But guys, let's go ahead and jump into our 5-leg uninsured slip over on Underdog. All right, guys, I've pulled up DGFantasy.com. I'm at the correlation homepage. And as you guys can see, all of our correlation slips that we actually funnel out through our correlation tool are publicly tracked. So whether or not you're a DGF member and you actually have a correlation tool subscription or not, you can still come to dgfantasy.com/correlation and publicly track how the correlation tool is actually doing. Since 8/18, since we actually started publicly tracking our slips, we are up 332.8 units. What that means is that it's $5 better. If you're a $5 better and you are looking at this tool, if you were up 332.8 units, you'd be up over $1,660 by taking all of the recommended slips that get populated to the correlation tool. Now, as we can see right here, there are currently 20 slips that are ready to be entered. But come the weekend when we have college football and NFL that are just ready to go, we have over 100 correlated slips for you guys to be entering throughout various DFS apps. Now, it's no secret that correlating slips on these DFS apps, these fixed payout platforms, is the biggest edge that we currently have. For anybody curious on what correlating means or positive correlation in your slips, all that means is that outcomes, so plays that are more likely to occur together. And the whole purpose of our correlation tool is to show you long-term profitable bets by showing you the highest correlated slips in a specific game. And you might be thinking to yourself, how does the correlation tool actually take that into consideration? Well, our software automatically identifies the highest correlated combo props and shows you and recommends a full game slip for a specific platform. Now, the reason we want to be doing this on these DFS apps opposed to sportsbooks is because we're able to get away with it by doing so on these DFS apps. Now, the reason we want to be entering these correlated slips on these DFS apps and not on the sportsbooks is because the sportsbooks like FanDuel, DraftKings, etc., they actually take into consideration what you're doing. They know that you're trying to correlate your slips over on their sportsbook, so they will alter their payout, right? So depending on what you actually put in your slip for a specific game in a same game parlay, your return won't be as high. So if we go play these over on a DFS app like Underdog, like Prizepicks, like Parlay Play, like Jock Market, we can get away with correlating our slips in most instances, right? So whether we're taking the over or the under on a specific player, our payout will always remain the same. And the reason this can be so advantageous, especially on an app where we actually get a flex payout on a 5 or a 6 flex slip like Prizepicks, is because we can still go 4 for 6, 5 for 6, and then obviously 6 for 6 and still get some type of return. But over on a sportsbook, let's take FanDuel for instance. If we want to put in a 4-leg parlay, a 5-leg parlay, or a 6-leg parlay, we don't have that flexibility, right? We need to hit all 4, all 5, or all 6 player props in order to yield some sort of return. And if we're doing so in a same game parlay when we're actually trying to correlate our slips, our return is not going to be nearly as high as if we did so on a fixed payout platform like Prizepicks or Underdog. So we're obviously in this video today building out a correlated slip for the Chiefs and Broncos game for anybody that is unaware, right? Obviously we're taking the under, our first play was the under 0.5 interception on Patrick Mahomes. So our slip is going to contain players directly from the Broncos and Chiefs, and we're going to find the highest correlated combo props specifically geared toward that game. Or we're not going to find it. Our software actually does that for us. But if we go to FanDuel right now and we actually take a look at some of the props that they're currently offering for this Chiefs and Broncos game in a same game parlay, if we add in Patrick Mahomes under 0.5 receptions and we come back with a couple Broncos props, we can't even enter the slip over on FanDuel. And even if we wanted to enter these props into a slip over on FanDuel, our return that we'd be getting wouldn't be nearly as high as we would get over on Underdog Fantasy, right? These fixed payout platforms. So not only can we not even enter the slip we're about to enter on UD, but our return wouldn't be nearly as much as our 20 times. So if we head back over to the correlation tool and we go down to the Broncos and Chiefs game, this is our slip for tomorrow night's Thursday night football game. And for anybody that is unaware, we filter these by profit margin percentage, and obviously we have a correlation score that is attached to our slips as well. And correlation score is from 0 to 100, and all you need to know is the higher the correlation score, the more correlated these props actually are for this specific game, and that directly affects the profit margin that we're seeing for that specific slip. And as we can see right here, we have a correlation score on this specific slip at 90, and our profit margin here would be just less than 117%. But this is going to be our slip from the game, guys. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes under 0.5 interceptions, Russell Wilson over 226.5 passing yards, Jerry Jeudy over 54.5 receiving yards, Marvin Mims over 18.5 receiving yards, and Courtland Sutton over 3.5 receptions. And let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit and why this slip is so heavily correlated. So we have the Chiefs at home going up against the Broncos in Thursday night football. 10.5 point favorites are the Chiefs at home. So the game script is telling us that the Chiefs are favored by 10 plus points at home against the Broncos. So what does that mean? That means that Denver is more than likely going to be playing from behind, right? So what we want in this specific slip is going to be Patrick Mahomes to have a clean game. Obviously, we don't want him to throw an interception. If the Chiefs can come out and put points on the board early, Patrick Mahomes doesn't make any mistakes, he doesn't throw an interception, and they get out to an early lead. What that means is that, obviously, the Broncos are going to have to try and play keep up, right? They're 10.5 point dogs on the road for a reason. And let's be honest, the Broncos playing from behind has been something they've had to do a lot so far this year. So if we take that into consideration, right, if they're going to be playing from behind, that means that abandon the run most likely, and the offense is going to fall on Russell Wilson's shoulders. Sure, that's scary as shit, but let's let Russ cook. Russ over 226.5 passing yards. If he's going to have the ability to go out and do so, that means, because of positive correlation, what is going to happen? His receivers are going to have more opportunity to have more receiving yards and more receptions, right? Outcomes that are more likely to happen together. If Russell Wilson is going to go out and throw for a lot of yards, that means Jerry Jeudy, Marvin Mims, they're going to have more opportunities to have receiving yards. Courtland Sutton, more targets, he's going to have more chances to get more catches. So that's the game script that we want with this specific slip. And it makes sense given the actual spread that we currently have on the Chiefs and Broncos game. 10.5 point dogs, Broncos on the road. We want the Chiefs to come out, put points on the board, limit Patrick Mahomes to actually being able to throw and make that mistake and throw an interception. And on the flip side, Broncos need to play from behind, Russell Wilson dropping back and passing, more opportunities for Jerry Jeudy and Mims to actually have receiving yards, and Courtland Sutton, more targets, more opportunities to have receptions. Now guys, I gotta be honest, I would go ahead and enter this with you, but I already did because I just recorded this video and I didn't actually hit record because I'm an asshole. So again, for anybody that wants to tail, this is a slip. It's Russell Wilson over 226.5 passing yards, Jerry Jeudy over 54.5 receiving yards, Marvin Mims over 18.5 receiving yards, Courtland Sutton over 3.5 receptions, and Patrick Mahomes under 0.5 interceptions. A highly correlated slip, and the game script seems fantastic for this slip to actually go 5 for 5. All we need is the Chiefs to come out hot. What we don't want, the Broncos to get an early lead off of a fluke touchdown, or maybe they get the ball first and who knows, they score early and then they try and just bleed clock to try and play from ahead. But that doesn't seem to be the case given that 10.5 point spread that we're currently seeing. And there you have it, folks. One fully correlated slip directly from the correlation tool here at DGF. That is going to round out today's video. If you guys are going to be tailing this slip, please go ahead and hit the like button. The more likes, the better. You know, obviously we want to go 5 for 5. We want to get that 20 times return for tomorrow night's Thursday night football game between the Chiefs and the Broncos. Also, again, if this is your first time stumbling upon the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And make sure you turn on that notification bell so whenever we do go live or post content, you get notified first. But I will catch you guys on the next one, and let's cash.